Yeah, it's definitely different for me. I feel like basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast.
Caitlin Clark just gave away her plans for the upcoming season. Fortunately, she will remain in America. She has demonstrated by doing this that she is unaffected by a large salary. She is not like some players who are always complaining about their excessive rent or selling themselves for a few additional dollars. Was there something I didn't want to show my kid, or did I see a mistake? Basically, you just have to observe her at every turn. Observe her play and how she conducts herself. Clark is more concerned with living a useful life, whether that means visiting patients, going to charity functions, or spending time with her fiancé. Regarding her future goals, she is adopting a much more deliberate stance, particularly in regards to handling the typical racist bullshit she has seen. At the end of the day, that's simply basketball. No, that won't ever change. I will always have that. It seems like someone is beating me up. She is no longer allowing any of that to sap her vitality. Thus, things are undoubtedly going to get interesting soon. I think it will be beneficial for me to sort of look back on everything that has transpired. I feel like my time in college went by so quickly that I didn't even have time to think back on it. After that, I came here and tried my hardest to help this club move on and put all of that behind me in order to help them, return to the playoffs. I therefore want to enjoy spending some time by myself and looking back. Since most elite athletes take off for Europe in the offseason in search of additional revenue and global recognition, Caitlin Clark chose to put the brakes on rather than pursue large sums of money and exciting new experiences. She declined some very attractive offers from teams in Europe. And why? Because Clark is playing the game her way by prioritizing her mental health and well-being, in contrast to the usual rising star who snatches up more publicity and a hefty salary. For her to take a break from her hectic schedule and simply check in on everyone. It means a lot to have babies here. Her devotion to the United States and the WNBA is what truly makes this decision stand out. With all of Europe's benefits, big money, beautiful new scenery, and let's face it, better food, so many sportsmen are swooning. Clark's choice to persevere in this situation makes a significant message. She had the opportunity to board that aircraft, increase her level of international celebrity, and earn some extra zeros on her salary. However, she is putting her nation, her league, and her people before the short-term gains. She seems to be reaffirming her dedication to the long-term rather than merely pursuing momentary excitement. What do we anticipate being added to her repertoire in this instance? Look, Caitlin Clark could only contribute a little bit of bulk. Isn't that right? A tiny bit of muscle. Many people have a tendency to work on their strength and weightlifting routine. Thank you to all of the people who have helped me realize my childhood ambition, she wrote on Instagram. As I think back on the past year of my life, I am overwhelmed with thankfulness. See everyone in the second year. Furthermore, it is undeniable that Clark would have made a fortune there. She could be enjoying an espresso while relaxing in a vacation in Europe, but instead she is concentrating on her future, which is what really counts. She's doing more than simply getting her body ready for the upcoming season by remaining put and putting rest and recuperation first. She's demonstrating that she has the long term in mind. She stands out from so many other athletes because of her intelligence and forethought. Caitlin Clark concluded one of the most outstanding basketball seasons in a long time. Furthermore, Caitlin Clark's offseason is making waves for all the right reasons. In my opinion, her outright reluctance to move to Adidas is also one of the most prominent headlines. As everyone is aware, Clark signed an 8-year, $28 million contract with Nike. It's more than just financial stability. She is creating an entire empire. There are other well-known brands in her neighborhood besides Nike. She has also secured agreements with Gainbridge, State Farm, and Gatorade. Additionally, they are powerful figures in the field of sports marketing. These collaborations are more than a spectacle. In their campaigns, Clark has taken center stage. Why would she have to switch to Adidas then? She's already making a lot of money and creating something far more than a pile of checks. She is equally dedicated to improving her community off the court. Clark is out here doing the hard labor, whereas most sportsmen might take their time off to unwind or work out. As an example, she went to the Golden Gala for the Pacers Foundation on October 19, 2024, which is a significant fundraising event for Indiana's Youth and Family Services. Definitely. Is he the person you frequently go to the gym with, especially late at night? Yes, without a doubt. That is something that we have always had a connection to. I mean, I believe I also need to manage things like knowing when to take a break and when to go to the gym and get more shots. But coming in here and shooting late at night or hosting some shooting competitions is undoubtedly something we enjoy. The temperature rises a bit. He wants to believe otherwise, but I clearly outshoot him far more than he outshoots me. She isn't slowing down either. Her next commitment is to speak at the Women's Leadership Summit in Bel Air, Florida on November 12, 2024. Women's empowerment and leadership development are the main goals of this summit. Additionally, the fact that Clark is a featured speaker speaks much about the extent of her influence. She is more than simply a WNBA player. She is emerging as a female leader of the future. Not a female superstar, but Caitlin Clark is a superstar. She's a superstar. Caitlin Clark's performance was the reason we came. She makes a difference. Someone who makes a difference is what the WNBA has been searching for. Additionally, Caitlin Clark has a personal life, just like everyone else. And you know what? She's in love with a man. Yes, she isn't a lesbian then. And some of you are undoubtedly letting out a sigh of relief for that. In any case, Butler University assistant coach Connor McCaffrey is her man. Additionally, don't assume that this is merely a background fling. Right now, McCaffrey plays a significant role in her life. He has been assisting Clark in finding concentration, balance, and all the other gooey things that people in relationships seem to get. They have casually demonstrated that Clark isn't only about the court by being seen together at events like Butler's open practices and the Colts Steelers game at Lucas Oil Stadium. She has a full life going on as well. Now, here's the thing, this relationship is so subtle that it hardly registers on anyone's radar, no matter how tasty it sounds. There would be no drama, no cameras flashing in their faces, and no tabloids manipulating events to get more hits. Support and maintaining his sense of reality are crucial for Clark. While the rest of the world is busy hyping her up, McCaffrey is obviously helping her relax. Those games will be a lot of fun. I adore collegiate basketball. After all, he has obviously been involved with it all of his life and has made significant investments in it. I believe it will be enjoyable. Give me someone to cheer for and something to do during the off-season. But the Hawks are still in the game for sure. As one of the most talked about WNBA players, he's providing her with the sense of serenity she needs to handle the crazy pressure. To be honest, it's refreshing in a world where sportsmen occasionally use their private lives as a publicity circus in order to garner attention. However, Clark knows she's being honest and concentrating on her game without the untidy interruptions. She just did everything and became a celebrity and attention getter for sports lovers, including young girls like me who want to play basketball and watch her play. Not to mention how Clark is managing her local notoriety in Indianapolis. But her abilities aren't the only reason people are supporting her. Because she is integrating herself into the neighborhood, they adore her. She's not just a far-off superstar, whether she's at games or just hanging out with Butler's basketball team. She is connected and makes genuine connections with others around her. That level of maturity, indeed, it's uncommon, particularly for someone her age. The majority of young athletes are overly preoccupied with their social media accounts or their jobs. However, Clark is focused on creating something greater than herself. She is even more popular among fans because she is a part of the culture. There's no denying that Caitlin Clark is acting beyond her years. For years, sports science has been adamant that mental recuperation is equally as crucial as the physical grind. And it's obvious that Clark is listening. She is aware that year-round effort does not lead to improvement. It simply wears you out. In order to refuel, she is applying the brakes. To be honest, it could be her secret weapon for the upcoming season. She will be in a much better frame of mind than the athletes who killed themselves in the gym during their whole summer by the time she returns to the court. It might be that, God, oh God. And when does Clark wish to remain? She's not using basketball exercises to be active. She's been out on the golf course with her Indiana Fever teammate, Lexi Hull. You mean golf? Yes, it's the ideal method to relax while maintaining your competitive advantage. It's stress-free, enjoyable, and allows Clark to maintain her relationship with her staff. Quite brilliant, isn't it? When you can be out on the golf course having fun and remaining sharp, who needs to work out hard? Speaking of remaining grounded, Clark hasn't lost sight of her origins. During the off-season, she has been in Iowa spending time with her family. For her, family is vital, and getting back in touch with her origins helps her stay grounded and prevent burnout, which is a problem that many athletes face. It's a straightforward step, but when everything else gets too much, sometimes going home is just what you need to rejuvenate. What keeps you going in a career as demanding as professional basketball are the simple things. When I was very young, I recall receiving my first set of golf clubs for a birthday present. I got it from my dad. Both the purse and the clubs were all pink. In our younger years, my dad would constantly take me. I think I began playing golf in the 3rd or 4th grade. I was awful, really. I was unable to lift it off the floor. By now, you must be aware that the internet is a huge fan of intriguing gossip. Furthermore, people are powerless to stop themselves when it comes to well-known figures like Caitlin Clark. This summer, one of the more outrageous stories was that Clark had packed her bags and left for Europe to participate in the EuroLeague. She was playing undercover abroad and still posting up in the United States as if nothing were wrong, and some admirers were out here convinced that she was pulling off the greatest theft ever. All of that turned out to be viral bullshit because the facts, yes, they are truthful. Let's dissect it. October 8th, 2024 marked the official start of the EuroLeague season. She would also have a lot of explaining to do if Clark was actually acting as a secret agent in Europe. However, she was the focus of attention at the Pacers Foundation's Golden Gala in Indiana on October 19th. Clark was busy making an impact back home, hanging out with basketball aristocracy and demonstrating her dedication to her community while people were fantasizing about her shooting baskets in foreign leagues. Timeline check then, there will be no covert European games. Additionally, Clark's social media accounts were out there presenting the truth for those who needed further evidence. She was jokingly sharing her drive-through experiences and relaxing afternoons playing golf with friends on TikTok while these claims were circulating. This is good. Is it possible to substitute vanilla cream for coconut cream in the Raspberry Dream? Please, can I do the summer splash after that? Additionally, is it possible to use vanilla cream for coconut cream in the spring fling? Is the beach mine? Unless she's figured out how to teleport, which would be amazing. Let's face it, she couldn't have been working 2 jobs on 2 continents. Or the same on her Instagram feed, pictures of her spending time with loved ones, playing golf with teammates, and going to charity events. You may relax and wait for the next WNBA season if you were wondering if she was traveling back and forth between Europe and the United States like some sort of basketball magician. Clark is going to burn it. If you've watched this far, please remember to hit the subscribe button and share this video with your basketball team. What follows is something you won't want to miss.